And we are at the number 2 station for the DEKA Strong. And I just want to clarify, the DEKA Strong is the same 10 events as DEKA Mild, DEKA Fit, DEKA Ultra. It's just that there's just no running. So the DEKA Strong, you just go from event to event to event. This is event number 2 of 10. This here is the rower, concept 2, and it's 500 meters.
Yes, 500 meters.
Okay, now we compete as co-ed, and we split the 500 meters. The one thing about DEKA, you can choose the male, the female, individual. Obviously as an individual, you have to do all 500. We choose to split 250, 250. And so the biggest thing, and I'll let Dr. Michelle add in as well, is leg drive. The biggest thing is leg drive. Maximize your range of motion. You have a flywheel here. So if you're just like doing short little pulls, it's like sitting in a rowboat. You want to reach far forward and drive that oar into the water. It's the same concept. And you're also breathing. Make sure you get your breathing in. What would you like to add?
Couple things. One, people always ask about the damper setting, which is how much airflow is going through the fan. I guess if you're starting, I would say between a 4 and a 6 is probably a good place to start. And then as you get stronger, you can play around with higher, lower damper settings. It depends on like how fast, how many strokes per minute you want to be doing compared to how much power you have.
And right, because her and I, we could both do 35 strokes per minute. Because I'm 200 pounds to her 125, even when we're doing the same strokes per minute, my power is going to generate a much faster time. So my personal tip to the athletes out there, if you're looking to go into a DEKA event, is the maximum amount of, on the dampener, you know, I'm going to probably be doing a 9, but when I started, I was probably about a 5. And that does not fatigue you, because what happens is you want to make sure that you get the fastest time, but you got 8 more events afterwards too. So that's something to remember.
Yeah, so I would say you're doing a 9 mostly because you're doing 250 meters and not the whole 500.
Right. If I was doing 500 meters, the power it would take out of me at level number 9 would not sustain for 500 meters. I would die pretty hard. But that's so individual. You have to find, you have to spend time and play with the damper and look at your times.
But definitely get your form down first, and we're going to go over proper rowing forms. A lot of people, especially like CrossFit athletes or just like people at the gym doing just regular fitness, don't usually use proper rowing form. But if you look at people who are like competitive rowers, Olympic rowers, they're using the right form, and you get more out of it actually.
Dr. Michelle and I, we split 250, 250. However, she's going to go ahead and do the demonstration by herself. The biggest thing is you may not be able to see from the camera angle, but you have this heel and foot strap with a strap that goes across the top of the shoe. If you're 6'6", you probably want to be all the way down. So make sure that you place the holes to accommodate your foot size. So go ahead.
I like for the strap to go right across where my laces start at the bottom of my shoe. Mm-hmm. So some people say over the widest part of the shoe, but I actually think it's more comfortable across where the laces start.
And after you do it a few times, you'll start to get a feel for it. And she has it very snug, but not ultra tight, because especially if you're practicing and you know you're at the gym, that's one thing. But if you're at the event, you need to get out of there really quickly. So she has it snug, but not ultra tight. So Doc, if you wouldn't mind grabbing the handle. So what happens is the full range of motion, lean a little forward, that right there is a nice stretch. Notice her torso. Can you go to perpendicular? So that is perpendicular. Look how much distance she lost. Can you bend forward? So she's bending forward probably, I don't know, maybe 35 degrees. Obviously, if you're 6'6", you got more of a bend. Play with that, but you definitely want to lean forward. Her bar is past her toes or the top of the foot strap. Go ahead and do maybe 10 reps, Doc. So we're going to go ahead and do a basic row to go straight line, because people want, okay. This is how we started whenever we started at the beginning of 2025. Bend your knees, go straight, exhale. Okay, so I'm going to coach for 5 more. Breathe in, drive through your feet. Breathe in. This is the basic technique, going straight from here to her sternum. Now, go ahead and give me about 10 reps. Watch your technique. Sternum, past her thighs. Sternum, drop down past her knees. You want to make sure the bar is past your knees and then you bend forward. This is the optimum rowing technique, about 5 more. And what happens here is it's all leg drive. Your upper body is just finishing the acceleration from the leg drive. 3 more, drive, you gotta breathe in. Drive, breathe in, 1 more, and set her down. Go ahead, Doc. Tell what you felt and what you're focusing on as you're doing this movement.
Yeah, so I'm focusing on pushing into my heels as if I'm doing like a deadlift. And what I'm doing is I'm going legs, then my arms, and then a lean back.
Stop right there. Notice she has a slight, probably about 20 degrees past perpendicular. This is perpendicular. Come forward. Okay, that's perpendicular. By leaning back 15 to 35 degrees, it allows another extra inch and a half range of motion. You've got to understand, if someone's 6'4", this is going to travel a lot further. Yeah. And every time that you go ahead and do a stroke, the flywheel spins, which actually is accumulating distance, thus giving you a faster time.
Yeah, so when you come back, you don't want to go legs first. You want to come arms and then legs.
So to your sternum, past your knees, and then go forward. The biggest thing, you got to breathe in, catch your breath, drive, and relax. Drive your legs and relax.
And to get out, you just take the little, push them down, put up and out.
And just real quickly too, a little tip on this is practice getting out quickly, because during the event, your adrenaline's going. I have seen so many athletes get stuck in there because they put no effort into the technique to get out. Dr. Michelle and I, we chose, in the beginning, I was going to do all 500 meters, but it took my legs out of me. So we were going to swap at 250 meters a piece. So the one thing that we want to point out, you might not be able to see from the vantage point, but on the dampener, I'm going to go ahead and do a number 9. I'm about 200 pounds and I'm a squatter, so I can handle that kind of power. Obviously, she's ultra fit and very strong, but you know, at 60, 70 pounds lighter, her dampener is going to go to 7. So here's what you have to know, is that I'm going to go ahead and do 10 strokes. At about the 7th stroke, she's going to lower it from 9 to her 7. And you have to talk to your partner if you're doing this as a partnership, and you have to talk. But when I have 3 strokes left, she will put it to her dampener setting. She will come around. She will unloosen this side. As I come forward and hold on to this with one hand, I will loosen my left side. She will take my spot, she will grab the handles, and I will lock it in. This has taken some time to practice, but we're going to go ahead, not at full speed, but we'll go a little slower so you can watch. Ready, Doc?
Yeah, when you're doing this, if you're doing teams and you're going for time, every second counts. So the more you can dial in the partner-to-partner transition to make it seamless as possible and keep the flywheel going, then you're going to be able to make up your time pretty quick.
Yeah, and also this is important. Whenever I was doing it by myself, actually, Doc said, hey, maybe we should consider, splitting out. That's going to take too much time, blah, 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 getting in and out. And once we got so efficient at getting in and out, our times went down a lot, and my legs were safe for the next exercise. Are you ready?
Yeah, notice when we do the transition, I'm not going to grab the handle from him. He's going to hold on to the handle. I'm actually going to grab the seat, because I want to hold on to the seat while I put my butt down on it, because the worst thing you could do is try to sit down, the seat rolls, and then you fall on the ground.
Yeah. All right, I'll just go ahead and do 10. 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. And just go ahead and do 10. So that was a pretty seamless transaction. Her dampener settings are already set, and the flywheel was still spinning. Obviously, we would be quicker in competition. Practice that technique. You may make some variations, but for the most part, that's pretty seamless. Good job.